Hello, this is Tina with Content Creators Club. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really just wanted to give an update, a better update compared to yesterday's update. So, if you're not in Content Creators Club, you probably already know what that update was. If you're not, then go ahead and join with the link below in the description. But I really wanted to give an update on how last year went, give a little bit more insight, and maybe give some insight into what's going to happen going into 2025. So I'm walking, girls getting her steps in because we also have health goals that we want to hit. But in any case, let's kind of get into it. So I wanted to put on my happy girl pants because yesterday's newsletter was a little bit on the sadder side, but I thought it'd be good to kind of give you a proper reflection of 2024, and I really just want to just share everything. And I recently kind of came across one of those posts, like if you're ever on Facebook and you kind of like see like what did your year look like in 2025 and like take pictures throughout the year. And I was like, oh, like that's so cool, like that's such a cool way to like identify like how did the year go. And for me, the year can be summed up in terms of like lots of travel pictures. I traveled a lot this year and lots of house repairs. So this beautiful apartment that you see behind me, I renovated it and it took a very long time. But yeah, I have lots of screenshots and lots of pictures of me, taking pictures of pipes, of like walls and drywall and all that stuff. So yeah, that took a lot of my time, money, and energy to do that this year. And I have lots of pictures of my dog Chino. If you don't know Chino, definitely join the newsletter. You're going to see lots of pictures of him. But that's kind of like what the summation of 2024 really looks like. And so, kind of just to give more detail behind that, on the personal front, I renovated two out of the three apartment units that I own. So, I own a multifamily, and we have three units in the building. And so, for one of those units, I actually completely gutted it, which is the unit that I'm in now. So, everything's brand spanking new, feels so good, definitely costed a lot of money. But I moved in and I'm kind of at a point where like I'm feeling very settled, and it took me a long time to get there. I would say like definitely 9 months out of the year is just like constantly go, go, go. And so I feel like, in Q4 2024, I finally had the time to just rest, to settle, to enjoy my place. And 2025, we'll see how that turns out as well. But I'm gonna be honest at you, like there were a lot of moments throughout 2024 where I really, really just wanted to throw a goddamn hammer at the wall. And the truth of the fact is that since I did a renovation, I actually did that. I had lots of times where I was just stuck in my apartment and I was just like renovating it, you know, doing the framing, figuring out who to find as a contractor. And it's just a lot of work and it's very frustrating because there is just so many moving components of like when you are running a renovation, but also just like in my life, like there was the construction going on the personal front. I'm trying to build this business as well, and then I'm also trying to make time for my family, my friends, and like prioritize that, because what's the point of doing all this if you don't have that, right? And so it's kind of like putting so much energy in different buckets. And yes, I feel like this year I've accomplished a lot, but I think this past year I was definitely very more exhausted than, most people would say. And so one of the things that also sucks about renovation is that when you're dealing with contractors, majority of the time they want to get paid in cash. And that really sucks because it's a very cash intensive transaction. And I didn't get as many credit card points as I wish I did. But there was times where I definitely, like, even to this day, I kind of pinch myself and I'm like, oh my God, I did that. Like this wall, I did that. Like this closet, I built that. And so, like on the personal front, it was definitely a lot of moving parts, a lot of energy, a lot of capital, and a lot of time just kind of making everything work the way I needed to. And so on the creator front, I definitely think I've made a lot of big strides there. I feel like, these past 3 years was just kind of like figuring it out, setting, kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall and see what works and what doesn't work. And, 2 years ago, I felt like I found kind of my groove. Last year, I feel like I really just like honed in on like, okay, here's what I'm about. This is what I prioritize. This is what I want to talk a lot more about. And I feel like it just kind of came together, right? And so one of the goals that I had this past year was to really walk out of 2024 with 2 to 3 solid in real life connections. I met my friend Victoria from Self-Made Millennials in Canada. Got to spend time with her. It was really great. I also got to do a creator meetup with Jamie from Minimalist Hustler, which is also awesome. I made some really solid connections from the Craft and Commerce conference this past June. And so yeah, like I definitely feel like I've done that. And the best way that I knew how to accomplish that goal truly was through conferences, because I kind of walked in where I was like, okay, if I'm going to go to a conference, like if I walk out with like 1 or 2 solid connections, then I feel like that was a successful conference. And I definitely think like with every conference that I went to, I did come out with at least 1 or 2. So I had a lot of conferences, and quality is definitely more important to me than quantity, because if I walk out with those 2 connections, they've definitely been really great. And so, what I also say, like I mentioned, is that those conferences ended up turning into like extended vacations, because that's one of the reasons why I traveled so much. I traveled a lot for conferences, but if you're buying a plane ticket, you might as well take full advantage of it. So, a lot of these extended vacations either involved me hiking up mountains, staring out into the ocean when I went to Mexico, beautiful, by the way, or being a stranger in a new city. That was really awesome to just kind of do solo trip. And it made all the travel, money, networking, and energy, because I feel like traveling definitely takes a lot of energy out of you, but it really made it all worth it. And so there's something real about it. I need to add pictures to this newsletter, but if you're getting the newsletter, you'll probably see the pictures. But yeah, it was really great, because not only did I meet my friends, but I also met some household names. I met Ali Abdal from Craft of Commerce, and I also met Cody Sanchez, and I got a picture with her. So happy to at the Bigger Pockets conference. So that was really cool. So on the business, definitely kind of laying into that vibe of laying that foundation. Again, like I mentioned, I feel like I found the voice, the strategy, and the profit to really make this business not only profitable, but leveraged. And so we're going to be talking a lot about that into 2025 on like, what does a leveraged creator business look like? What does it look like when you have a business that runs without you, that prioritizes your time, and that runs without social media? That is what I really want to talk about going into 2025. And it just felt really good, because I've been working on this type of model for the past 5 years at this point. And last year was, I think, honestly, the first year where like it legitimately felt freeing. Like it felt freeing from those days where just life felt awful, freeing from those days where, the real estate got really intense. And it was also freeing because there are days where I just wanted to sleep in and I didn't want to do anything but watch Gilmore Girls and cuddle with my dog Chino. And I think that's really important, right? Because you want to build a model that works without you, but allows you to have that free time. And I feel like last year I really prioritized building that model. And in 2025, that's still going to be a priority. Like my theme for the year is prioritizing peace. And so honestly, I feel like that was a big win, of just to feel free in the business and not feel guilty that you're taking the time off, that you're slowing down, and that, you're not sacrificing any revenue or profits to do that, because all the strategies that I've leveraged in my business is like, I don't need to be involved in order for them to work. And so, yeah, I feel pretty good about that. And so, yeah, I'm kind of looking ahead into 2025. I definitely feel like 2025 is going to be a build year. I think it's going to be a build year because I just have really high goals that I've set for myself that I really want to prioritize and I really want to make happen. And so if you're watching this video, please keep me accountable. But some goals that I have that I want to put out into the universe is to hit $20,000 a month in recurring revenue. That's easy, passive, and just leveraging my time in the best way possible. I want to lose 20 pounds. Henceforth, we're on this treadmill. We're doing the work. I really want to prioritize peace. And I think that's like the big key thing of 2025 is like, as much as it's going to be a build year, I also recognize that prioritizing peace needs to be kind of the non-negotiable in that area. So what do I mean by that? I mean, like, yes, you can have a build year, but that doesn't mean that you have to do everything by yourself. And I'm thinking about, what can I outsource? What can I create resources for? What can I choose not to do anymore, say no to? And I think it's going to allow me to focus more, but it's also going to allow me to just free up my time to focus on the things that actually matter, right? Because, like a simple thing that I'm like super happy about is like, I'm going to be, hiring someone to do my meal prep. And like, that's really cool because I'm creating a system where I no longer have to cook. I get the time back, and it's also reaching my protein and my caloric goals. So I can, lose 20 pounds and all that stuff. But this is where I say like prioritizing peace also means just like doing less and giving, my responsibilities don't change, but I still need to do them. And so the thing is I'm questioning of like, do I need to do them or can I outsource it to somebody? And my answer is like, yeah, I can outsource it to somebody. So that's what I'm going to do. So tomorrow, I'm going to share a little bit more insight. I talked and alluded to a lot about like what does leverage look like in a business? How do you actually have the time where you can have the free calendar, where you can have the model that works with you, not against you? I'm really excited about it because tomorrow I'm going to release and share a little bit more information on what that looks like. But if you are someone who's like, I don't want to wait, Tina, then definitely reply or comment on this video details, and I'll send you more information on how we can work together. And it's actually going to be the only way that you're going to be able to work with me in 2025. So super excited to share that, and I'll see you in tomorrow's content. Bye.